Good morning to all of you. Today I am going to teach about the reproductive health. The next topic, sexually transmitted disease, infertility and assisted reproductive technologies. In the last lecture we had studied about the MTP, medical termination of pregnancy, and about the reproductive health and how to secure the reproductive health. Now we are coming to the sexually transmitted disease. As in today's present society, there is so much social stigma regarding the sexually transmitted disease. So the awareness among the people, awareness among the common people, it should be essential. That's why in your curriculum it has been added, because the age of the 15 to 24 is at the higher risk of the sexually transmitted disease, because it is the pubertal age. They want to do experiment. They doesn't know anything about the sexually organ reproductive health. So they aware them to give them a fully conceptual knowledge. The chapter in your curriculum has been added. So referring to the sexually transmitted disease. Sexually transmitted disease is also called as the venereal or sexually tract disease, because it infects the particular sex organ, the sexual tract, the primary and secondary sex organ, which are involved or in the process of sexuality, or in the process of the pregnancy and all, in process of the meiosis, in process of the formation of the zygote. That particular tract is being infected. That site is also called as sexually transmitted disease or sexually tract disease. How this disease is being transmitted? The first point is referred here: avoid unprotected sexual intercourse. There should be always use of the protection, because you are not knowing that who is suffering from which type of diseases. The sexually transmitted diseases, due to the social stigma, we can't share with anyone. So it is essential that it is a proverb. It is called as the prevention is better than cure. So the prevention is better than cure. That's why we should use the protected sexual intercourse. We should avoid the unprotected sexual intercourse. Now, the example of the sexually transmitted disease are the genital herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, genital warts. These all terms we must know. We must come according to our daily knowledge that the particular person is suffering from the gonorrhea. The particular person is suffering from the syphilis. So these all terms are associated with the sexually transmitted disease. These are the type of sexually transmitted disease which infect the particular genital warts or genital tract. Hepatitis B and later the AIDS. When we couldn't diagnose at the particular sexually transmitted disease, or are not aware of that particular sexually transmitted disease, then late detection lead to the pelvic inflammatory disease, PID. Pelvic inflammatory disease means our pelvic region is only associated to our sexual part, so that particular pelvic region gets infected, and it is a very late case when we are not detecting the particular sexually transmitted disease and avoiding the particular disease. And it also leads to the abortion, stillbirth and ectopic pregnancy. Means the pregnancy would be there and then it will stop. The baby will abort. So that particular case is occurred due to the sexually transmitted disease. So this particular disease, we all know a disease is never our friend. So a particular disease in the later consequences is infecting a lot of the future problem. So to avoid this future problem, we should detect the particular disease and take a particular medication and be aware of that thing, and always should be protected and we use the protected sexual intercourse. 15 to 24 age is the pubertal age, where we doesn't know anything. We are just experimenting with our pubertal, our thoughts, our wishes, our desires. So in that case, it is the higher risk to get sexually transmitted disease. The later on, we all know that the AIDS is also sexually transmitted disease on a broad spectrum, which is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is transferred by HIV virus. Today in our society we are dealing with the coronavirus, and we all know that HIV is a retrovirus. It is also a type of virus which treatment hasn't been diagnosed as yet. HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. How the human immunodeficiency virus is being transmitted to any person? When we share the contaminated needle, if we are just taking the injection of anything, any drug, any medication, and we are taking the injection and the injection had been taken by a person suffering from HIV or AIDS, then the particular injection due to our venous inflammation, that will transfer the particular virus to our blood also. Also the blood transfusion. If the infected blood gets transfused to us, that's why the blood transfusion mechanism is being carried out under a severe protection to diagnose that whether the person is suffering from AIDS or not. So blood transfusion is also a case of the transfer of HIV transmission. Mother, if an infected mother is there, then she also transfers the particular HIV virus fetus. Now, how do we prevent the HIV virus? We should not do sex with the multiple partner or unknown partner, and if we are doing also, if the desire is just addicted to it, then always use the condom or protection to avoid the sexually transmitted diseases like these diseases or the severe diseases like the HIV viruses. And always use sterile needle and be aware of the particular consequences of these sexually transmitted disease. Now, after completing sexually transmitted disease, when the sexually transmitted disease we are studying, then a term occurs that the person is infertile. What do you understand by the term infertility? The infertility term means biological inability of a person to conceive when we are not using any protection, and then we are making the coitus or doing the sex, and then also the pregnancy doesn't occur on the ovulation phase. Whether there is a problem in a male or a female, different type of problem is there, then particular unprotected coitus also doesn't conceive the pregnancy. That term is called as infertility of that particular couple, whether it is a male or a female. And today in our society there are many infertile couples due to the shame and due to the societal stigma. They are not sharing their problem and they are just suffering and just being and they are just suffering and just being the social dilemma that why they are suffering with these diseases. They are not sharing their problem with them, but doctors are there, the knowledge persons are there. They should share and they should conceive a particular problem, how to solve this particular problem. In the initial cases, it could be solved, and in the final cases, there are many methods to conceive a baby. We will study later on topic. The infertility reason is either psychological also should be reason. If we are having a psychological pressure, then also our gamete formation is not up to the mark. Our menstrual cycle is not up to the mark. So that's why the psychological reason is also there in the cases of the infertility. The congenital disease or the drugs also later on carried out, or later on the drugs intake or the congenital disease, any disease which are coming from our genetical disease, that also causes the condition of the infertile couple. There are two types of infertility. There is the first one is the primary infertility and the second one is the secondary infertility. When we are talking about the primary infertility means the couple which had never had the children. They haven't had the children. And the secondary infertility means which are the severe cases nowadays. In this particular couple are having the children in the first time, but now later on they are not able to achieve the pregnancy or not able to achieve the children. So these are the two conditions of infertility. Now, to solve the problem of infertility, there is a new term assisted reproductive technology. Assisted reproductive technology means the technology which has been introduced to solve the infertile couple and to let them get the coitus or let them get the pregnancy and let them get the baby child. So in this technique, for the infertile couple, it is being performed in the laboratory or the clinics by the professional doctors or the professional technicians. There are the two types of things: the in vitro fertilization or the test tube baby, which is a broad term, which is a very interesting term in today's society. We all are knowing. The second one is ZIFT, means zygote intrafallopian transfer, and IUT, intrauterine transfer. The third one is in vivo fertilization. The fourth one is GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. The fifth one is ICSI, and the last one is artificial insemination. Now coming one by one to each and every topic. In vitro fertilization or test tube baby. Test tube baby, the first test tube baby was the Louis Joy Brown, and it was this baby was conceived in the England. And the second in the India is Kumari Harsha, which is a renowned name in the India. In a Mumbai hospital, she had been produced in the in vitro fertilization or test tube baby formation. What we do in the test tube baby formation? In the test tube baby formation, we take the ova from a female or donor female body who are producing ova but couldn't conceive, are unable to conceive. We are taking the ova and we are taking the sperm from a male body. Then we are fusing both ova and the sperm in a laboratory or in a clinic, maintaining particular condition, particular temperature. When the particular cell which is being fused and when zygote is formed to the 8 blastomeres state, which we have studied in the reproductive topic, sexual reproduction in the human reproduction. 8 blastomeres stage, then the particular 8 blastomeres stage is transferred to the female body, and that transfer of the 8 blastomere stage is termed as the embryo transfer, and this phenomenon is called as the test tube baby or in vitro fertilization. Now coming to the ZIFT and IUT. ZIFT means zygote intrafallopian transfer. Here the zygote is being formed after the test tube baby up to the 8 blastomere stage. When that particular 8 blastomere stage is transferred to the fallopian tube of the female reproductive tract, then that particular, due to the transfer, zygote intrafallopian transfer means zygote is being transferred to the fallopian tube, that is called as the zygote intrafallopian transfer. And coming to the IUT, when the 8 blastomere stage exceeds the particular stage, the cell division is being exceeded, then the particular exceeded cell division, cell dividing stage of the zygote is being transferred direct to the uterus, that is termed as the IUT, intrauterine transfer. Now coming to the term ZIFT. For the ZIFT term, coming to the in vivo fertilization. The first one is the in vitro fertilization, means that is carried out in the lab, and in vivo fertilization will be carried out in the female body. But here the female will be not the mother who is going to have the child. The particular ovum, due to the ovum is not fixing in her uterus, the particular ovum is being carried out, took out from that female body and is being transferred to the another female body, and there the sperm is being fused, and that the other female who is not the particular wife of that particular husband is just developing that particular baby. The other female, the ovum of this mother is taken here, and the sperm of the father is being injected to that and by any means, and then the particular ovum is then fixed in another mother, whether it is the 8 blastomere stage or whether the ovum is being fertilized by the inserting the sperm artificially. That particular, the other female who is developing that particular body, the particular baby or the zygote, the particular female is called as the surrogate mother, who is not the actual mother of that child, but due to the infertile mother, she is just serving the particular fetus in her uterus, and that particular transfer in the in vivo fertilization, where another female is being used to developing for the fetus, that is termed as the in vivo fertilization. Now another term come of the ZIFT. The another term come of the ZIFT. In the ZIFT, we come to know the ovum collected from the donor. The ovum collected from the donor is transferred to the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce but can provide a suitable environment for fertilization and for the development. Here also, when we are coming to ZIFT, the ovum which is being produced by the particular female is being transferred to another female. Here the ovum of the another female ovum is being fertilized because her ovum was not suitable to fertilize. So another female ovum was fertilized and she is acting as a surrogate mother. Here that particular moment the ovum is being taken and being transferred to another female. That is why it is called as the ZIFT. So what is the difference between in vivo fertilization and ZIFT? In vivo fertilization, we are taking another female who is just conceiving the baby by taking the sperm of the male, because the wife of the particular person is infertile, is unable to produce the ovum. So this technique, the ovum of the surrogate mother is being used, and the father and the sperm of the father, and she acts as the survival, or she acts as the developing fetus mother. And in the ZIFT, the ovum of that particular female who is the wife of that particular person is being taken out and is being developed in another female body whose environment is there to conceive the baby or to conceive the particular embryo in her uterus. So these two terms are little bit differ from each other, but the terms are there, where though in the both terms another female is being used. Now coming to the ICSI. Now coming to the ICSI. ICSI means intracytoplasmic sperm injection. It is being used in the male infertility. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. It is being used in the male infertility, where male is not fertile. The sperm, oligospermia case, means the sperm in the semen, the sperm quantity is less. So by the microneedle, the particular taken in that needle and is directly just injected to the ovum of the female, that is called as the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So in this case, the infertile male sperm is being taken and is introduced by the microneedle to the ova of the female. It occurs in the case of the low sperm count oligospermia, or in the case of the azoospermia. In the case of oligospermia or in the case of azoospermia. Azoospermia means when male can't produce the sperm, so the sperm is taken from the another male and it is transferred or injected to the ova of the wife of the particular male who is infertile. So in this way, the female is also going to conceive the particular baby. Now last but not least is the artificial insemination. Artificial insemination. In this, the semen is collected either from the husband or a healthy donor and then transferred artificially into the vagina or into the uterus. In the artificial insemination, it is also a transfer of male sperm from the male whose sperm is not hatching there, or from a healthy male. The sperm is taken, but here the microneedle is not used. Here directly the sperm is being put down in the uterus or introduced in the uterus or the fallopian tube, and when it is introduced in the uterus or fallopian tube, the particular female, when the ovulation phase occurs, then the sperm into the ovum and the particular female gets fertile. So these are all the techniques which are used to treat the infertility. The first one is the in vitro fertilization, the test tube baby, where the ova and sperm is being fertilized in the lab and the 8 blastomeres stage is transferred to the uterus or fallopian tube of that particular female. Done related to this only, ZIFT and IUT. ZIFT means zygote intrafallopian transfer, with the zygote formed in the laboratory at the 8 blastomeres stage is being transferred to the fallopian tube to get fertile or to get fusion, that is called as zygote intrafallopian transfer. And when it gets fused and particular zygote which is being formed which is directly from above the 8 blastomere stage, exceeding the 8 blastomere stage, that is called as the intrauterine transfer. Now coming to the in vivo fertilization, means the surrogate mother is being used. The particular female ova is not producing ova, so the sperm of her husband is taken to another female reproductive tract and being introduced, and that particular reproductive tract is producing the ova and she acts as a surrogate mother. ZIFT is also acting as another female, but here the ova of that particular wife which is infertile, now ova is being taken and that ova is introduced in another female body. Now coming to the ICSI and artificial insemination is a male condition. ICSI we use the microneedle to introduce the sperm up to the ova, and in the artificial insemination we take the healthy donor either from the male who is infertile or from the male who is a healthy male who is producing healthy sperm. That sperm is being introduced to the vagina or fallopian tube, and then the particular cases get pregnant, and in this way the infertility or the infertile couples are being treated. So quick revision of this chapter: sexually transmitted disease or venereal or sexually tract disease are those diseases which are transmitted to the sexually intercourse or the sexually tract, that is called as sexually transmitted disease, and it should be avoided by the unprotected sexual intercourses. There are several types of diseases. The HIV transmission, prevention of the HIV things, and about the infertility and about the assisted reproductive technology we had studied in this chapter. Now this chapter is being completed and you all revise this chapter and get the notes done in your copy, and if any problem is there then directly consult me.